Hello everyone and welcome back. It is good to have you back again. Today we are in the garden and I am having to deal with this borage plant. This is the white. I got it from Baker Creek and it has gone crazy. I'm going to bring you down to show you. I've got all of this in a container and I've got another one full already, and I haven't even finished trimming this up. I wanted to pop in and say hi, but I'm going to take you off the tripod and show you exactly what I am dealing with here. Okay, so as you can see, if I back it up a little bit, this has totally collapsed. And look at these stalks. Look at that stalk. It's just huge. So I'm going to cut, and look at these. This is seed. This is all seed. So another thing you have to be aware of is that this can be invasive. I didn't realize how invasive. You think about all of these little flowers here and all of them dropping seed. I'm going to have borage in this area for years to come, I am sure. But I am still going to try to save seed from what I've put in the containers so far. So this is one of the containers here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this on the porch here in a little while with you, and we're going to strip these leaves off, and I'll show you what we're going to do with that. The bees are not happy with me right now because I'm messing with this, but I have to trim all of this way back because the stems can't even hold the weight of what's going on here. So let me show you just here on this one right here. You want to cut above a node. It's kind of like basil, where you want to cut above where you have a node coming out, and then it'll branch out and regrow. Now these ones here, I'm kind of worried about them because they're so thick, but I'm going to cut above that node. I should have a thicker scissors here, but they're hollow on the inside. Look at that. Look at how wide around that is. And so you can see that that's hollow on the inside. Now, with me being a newer gardener with some of this stuff, I'm actually worried about bugs getting into there. I guess we will have to see how that turns out. I'm going to cut this though because it actually broke off. And then I'm checking to see how far away it is from the stem, and I'm trying to just go up 1 or 2 nodes. Let's see, where am I here? Okay, I gotta come back a little bit. We're gonna go right here. There's so much weight on these branches. So this is what we got right now. I need to get all of this cut. Look at all that and how much weight. There's a lot of weight. I'm gonna get all this cut and then we'll come back and see what it looks like. Okay, we are back. And I had to take down my netting that I had over here to get to this part of it. But I totally couldn't even see these plants that were back here. As you can see, it totally broke off one of my tomato plants. But I can, on here. I can still cut this right here where it's bent, since there's still a leaf here, and see if it'll still grow. But I don't know, because the base of it doesn't look too good either. I actually could take it out and plant it deeper. Maybe that's what I'll do. I will take it out and dig it in deeper. And this one here, this one wasn't getting any light. Okay, right now it looks like my phone is overheating, so I will take it inside, let it cool off, and we'll come back. Another thing about borage is chickens really like it. So we don't have a hazard light on the phone anymore. I do have my fan on right now, so I'm going to talk a little bit louder because it's like 88 degrees outside and it's blowing on the girls, the chickens, so that they're getting some cooler air. But I just wanted to show you out of that one big stem, look at how big that was. Look at the circumference of that. It's just huge, and then all the way in there, it's just hollow inside. So I've been going through here and I've been looking in the pods that look like they would have seeds in them. And those ones I'm picking the seeds out of. So I'm trying to save some seed. Let me see if I can find one for you here. I believe this is one here. So you just open it up and there's a seed right there. Oh, and they fall right out most of the time. So I've been doing it over a glass container. And then when I'm done finding most of the seeds, I'm putting it in here. And I'm going to fill this with water and I'm going to let that soak for 2 weeks, and it makes a great fertilizer. And here in a little bit, we'll go inside and I will go through all the things that borage is good for. But right now I'll show you how many seeds I've gotten, because there's a lot of them that haven't dried out yet. But you can see just from that one plant, I've already got all of these seeds. And I cannot even tell you how many pods that I have found that have been empty. So I know, just like my nasturtiums, there's going to be a lot that have self-seeded that are going to be over there in that bed for years to come. Even walking over here, bringing this stuff over here to the porch to work on it, where it's cooler, I was dropping seeds. So, see, here's one right here. That's what they look like. And you want to get them like this. So in some of them, in some of the pods, they haven't ripened yet. Whoops. And I pulled this one off to show you. See if I can open it. Do you see all those? See, those are all seeds right there. So most of your pods have 3 to 4 seeds in them, but I'm finding them with 1. So that tells me that a lot of them have dropped out of there. But these are still green. So if you were to go and save these seeds, they wouldn't germinate for you when you try to do your starts or plant them in the ground in the right season, because they're green and they're not mature. So you want to make sure that you're getting the darker brown seeds, these ones here, that are dried out. And then I am still even going to lay these out on a paper towel for a couple of days, because they still have some moisture in them from being in the pods. So I'm still going to let them dry out for a couple of days on the counter before I go to store them in an envelope where they could possibly get moldy from not being dried out enough. So I'm going to keep working on this. I'm not too worried about saving too many more seeds, but I do want to have some because the white ones are not as common as the blue seeds. And let me get the package. I had Tom order me some blue seeds. Scarlett's on the other side of the glass. Say hi, Scarlett. Hi, Scarlett. Hi, baby. Got her in here where it's cool. Let me see here. Trying to find it real quick. Okay. So the white borage is not as common as this borage. This is your blue borage, and this is the one that is more common. Let me go inside one more time, because there's another name. I think it's agasash. So this is the white right here, and that's what it looks like when it's flowering. Hello everybody. Well, we're still in the weekend, and I just wanted to pop in and show you what I'm up to today. I had to go to work this morning, and I just got back home, and I had asked Tom to pick me up some zinnias when he went to the nursery, and he thought when he picked this up he wasn't looking at this. He was just looking at the plants that were, you know, full. So he wasn't really paying attention. So he bought me 8 of these. So I have 8 times 3 is 24. 24 zinnia plants, and then he decided to surprise me with vincas, also 24. So I have to find a place for all of these. So I have put some in various places in the yard. I'll show you those. But I'm going to lay some out right here in different areas where I just have a little bit of extra space, because no matter what, wherever I put them, they grow taller, right? And then when they're smaller, see, when these have quite a bit of root growth already, I've taken some out that were actually starting to circle around. Yeah, see, like this one here, you can see how it's starting to circle around the whole pot. So I'm just kind of trying to get in there just a little bit, loosen it up a little bit. And then to get a bushier plant, it's kind of like with basil. You want to go down. Now see, I already have a flower on here, but I want a bushier plant. So I'm going to go down to where there's 2 leaves coming out here, and I'm going to pinch this off ever so easily. Oh my gosh. Okay. I think what I want to do there is I'm going to go get some scissors and do that once I have it planted, because that's actually a pretty thick stem already. You want to pinch them off when they're a little bit younger than this, you know, about the same height, but younger, so you don't have such a thick stem. But once I do that, then it'll branch out just like basil would, and you're going to get a fuller and bushier plant and not just one single stem. So we're just going to place these around in here. Okay, I hit pause for a second. I went and got some of these so I could show you exactly what we want to do here. So I was wrong. He actually got me 10 of these. The flat carries 10. So That's 60 plants. All right. Okay, so see right here where you have the two coming out here. You want to cut down here and just snip that off. Now where you cut, these two are going to go out and it's going to give it a bushier plant. So we'll get these planted, and then I made a last minute decision that I didn't plant any zucchini. So I grabbed Black Beauty, a golden, and a gray. Now I planted over in that bed, and I've planted over in the raised bed. So I'm going to try over here. I had also planted underneath the apricot tree last year. So, and I had squash bugs. So I'm going to just do it over here, and that's it. I wasn't going to plant any at all, but it's hard for me to do my garden without zucchini. I just love zucchini. I love the leaf structure of the zucchini. It's just a beautiful, I just love the beauty of it in my garden. So I'm just going to do probably 3 plants along this edge here. I'm going to take out this, I don't know if you can see it, I got Swiss chard over here in this corner. I'm going to take that out and I'm going to give that to the girls. And I'm going to put one there, and then take out this nasturtium, put one here, and then down there in the corner I'll put another one over there. And when I put my basil in here, I don't know, can you see? Let me bring this in here. Right here. Wow, dirty. This is the basil that I had planted, and I waited too long to plant it out from the seedling stage, and look at how puny it is. So I'm actually going to take this and I'm going to cut it back because it's already trying to flower. So we're going to cut that back, and hopefully it'll come back. Okay, welcome back, you guys. I had to stop recording earlier because it was over 90 degrees out and my phone kept overheating, so I could not record. So here we are in front of the borage plant. The one that we had cut is over here. And then I still have this one and another one in a container. The ones in the raised beds obviously are doing better. They get bigger, but these ones are doing amazing. So while we were watching Mr. B here, I want to give you a little bit of information that I had told you that I would give you for the borage plant. Another name for it is the starflower. It is actually an annual herb, and it is actually native to the Mediterranean region. And it self-seeds very well. We had kind of talked about that yesterday, and I want to kind of show you. I have a bench right here, and you can see right down here all those little brown things right there are seeds. So they literally just open right up out of these pods. They just fall out of the pods and self-seed. So with as big as this is and how many flowers you get out of it, I can't imagine actually ever needing to save seeds again. I am going to save some seeds, but I don't think it's actually necessary because there's so many that I am sure have dropped everywhere. And let's see, you can eat the leaves and you can eat the flowers. So the leaves, you want to try to eat the younger leaves, because once you get into these bigger leaves, let's see, I'm trying to show you here. Let's zoom back up. Okay, these bigger leaves here, well, here's even a better example. These are very scratchy, and they actually have like this prickly stuff on them. So I wouldn't recommend eating those ones. I would go for the smaller leaves. And when you eat these leaves, they taste like cucumber. Even when I was cutting them yesterday, I could even smell from the vine, it smelled like cucumber. There's another bee. The bees absolutely love this plant, and that is why I'm choosing to have it in my garden, is because it has great nectar, and the animals, the bees and the butterflies, I haven't seen the hummingbirds, but I'm sure they've probably been out here too. They just love it. So to bring in the bees, I'm happy to have the borage plants, and they can self-seed all they want to. The flowers, which are right here, and you can see why they're called starflower. When you want to pick these off at this point, when they just first open up, and you can put these in a garnish, you can put them in desserts, you can I read a thing that I actually want to try. Put them in an ice tray, fill the ice tray with water, and then you would have a flower inside the ice cube, which I think would be amazing. They have a sweet honey taste. So you can eat the flowers, you can eat the leaves, you can use them as a garnish, you can put them in the soups, you can put them in salads. There's many things that you can do with this flower. In the commercial industry, it is used to make borage seed oil, or borage seed oil. Excuse me if I'm not saying it right. And one of the main things with this oil is it contains, I wrote this down, it contains a omega-6, the highest concentration of the omega-6 fatty acid, gamma linoleic acid. And that is good for inflammation and joint pain. And I'm very impressed that people with rheumatoid arthritis are told to use this, as it is supposed to help them to be able to not have to use so many pain pills, because rheumatoid arthritis is a very painful okay, you guys, so that is some information on the borage plant. I hope that you have a space in your home where you can try this plant and enjoy it as much as I have. I just absolutely love seeing all the bees that come to this plant. But like I said, it can be fairly invasive. So if you don't want to have to worry about that, you might want to put it in a container. It does get rather large, and as you saw the other day, we cut that one back, and we're going to keep an eye on that and see how it does after you cut it back. Because I thought it was kind of odd how the stems, when you cut them back, are just hollow. So I'm not sure how that grows out from there. So we'll keep an eye on that and see how that does. Okay, and we also got all of our zinnia plants planted. I decided to line the bed with the zinnias all the way along here. And then on the other side, I also did some over there. And then I planted a couple sporadically in here. So I'm excited to see how that turns out. And I got my zucchini labeled here. And then I'll just show you where I put a couple of the other, well, some of the other plants. So along here in this bed, isn't that one beautiful? I placed some in here. And then as I am planting them in here, Tom says, "You didn't mess with where I put the seeds, did you?" And I'm like, there's no tags. So he just threw some seeds in here. And then I planted zinnias in here. So we'll have to see what happens. It's always interesting. Look at that one. Isn't that beautiful? He did a really good job picking out these flowers for me. So we did some on this side. Look at our asparagus, you guys. It's just growing a little bit more every day. And then I planted some over here. I mean, he got me all kinds of mixed colors here. We have orange, we have white, fuchsia. I mean, and this one wasn't even opening earlier, so it's like, oh yay, I'm out of that pot. So I put some in there. And then I didn't put any in these pots because I already have carnations in there. But I did put some, I put some vincas in here. Aren't those pretty? I love vincas too. Oh, and I did put a zinnia in here. Hi girls. Hi girls. Hello. Okay everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I was able to give you some good information on borage plants and different uses for those and what they're good for. And I hope you have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time.